Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the emergency storage shed. We're up to episode 111. We've got to get something out of there today, and now that last shelf unit left last week, there's so much more room. Let's go and see what we can grab. We'll probably try and make this a fairly quick episode. It's late in the week. We've had lots of things going on, as regular followers will know. So let's go and find something and see if we can discover some treasures maybe. Okay, we need to find something. Where were we going to start next? I don't remember. We got that shelf out of the middle. I think I was pondering starting this top shelf that we haven't done. We did get that computer down the bottom for Steve, which has been posted off to him. So that was a great quick flip, and Steve was happy and I'm happy. Should we get that other computer out there? Because Bob from Tassie did ask me about it. So I don't really want to start at the bottom and work up, but seeing so that's sitting there and it might be fairly quick to do, let's get that computer out and have a look. And if you remember, in that blue tub there was that World War II radio transmitter or something. Perhaps we'll just have a look at both those today, work out what to do with them. They won't be restoration projects or anything like that. I just really want to flip them and get them out of the shed and make some more space. So I'll take those through to the bench and see what we've got there. Okay, it's been a pretty big week this week. We've done 2 trips to Melbourne. Christine started her chemo treatment yesterday. She's going pretty well. We've got updates regularly on the other channel. That's her, well, our cancer journey channel, which is Christine's health affairs. But she's gone pretty well with that treatment. This is a 1940s era, probably World War II, maybe an aircraft transmitter. We'll get into that shortly. I'll go and grab the computer though. And this is a pretty early computer. So Bob, have a look at it I'll take the cover off, we'll check it out, and we'll talk between ourselves. You get first option, and I don't know if it's complete or not, but you might be interested. If not, we'll work out what our other plan is. So probably I'll reposition the camera. Let's move that one out of the road. We'll have a look at the computer first. Okay, it looks to be, what, late 1980s, maybe mid 1980s. Is it an XT? I'm not sure. Look, I've read about the earlier models. I should remember. I don't. You guys will know. It's got a 3.5-inch floppy. It's the cover appears to be loose, so let's see if we can slide it back. Oh yeah, I think the whole thing slides forward. There we go. Let's see if it's complete. Oh, it looks complete, and it looks in pretty good condition. I'm not immediately seeing any green corrosion, which is a good sign. Nice big motherboard there. There's a couple of slot cards and another card with a lot of plugs in. Is that an expansion card? I'm not sure, I don't remember. Power supply, is there any dates on it? Made in Taiwan. It's a 200 watt power supply. It has a floppy here. Does it have a hard drive in it? I think the hard drive's missing. Yeah, I guess hard drives went in there. There might have been a couple. Looks like there's been some insects in here, or maybe it was just a spider's web and that's the remains of what they ate. Certainly doesn't look to be any corrosion, which is good. There's a 1987 date on some of the chips. So I guess, yeah, late 1980s. A few spider webs. I'm not going to power it up. There's bound to be some capacitors that are going to let their smoke go if I do put power to it. So I'd rather just leave it, and whoever ends up acquiring it will no doubt go through the right processes. I believe these little tantalum capacitors, all these little blue ones, are prone to go short, I think, as they get older, and that's going to cause some damage if they do. All right, well, there we have it. It's basically complete, but there's no hard drive, and it looks in good condition. I'm not sure where the battery is on these, but I can't see any corrosion, which is good. Lots of big chips in there. I think the battery is down here. Yes, it is. We'll see if we can get some light in here and give a bit of a close-up. We'll take this board out so that we get a better view. It should unplug. There we go, quite easily. And yes, there's the Vata battery down there. Let's see if we can get a bit closer. Okay, there we go. It looks like there's a little bit of corrosion around the board, but not very much. Yeah, I can just see some greenish spots. I'm looking through the camera myself. I'm not actually sure if they're corrosion. Maybe a little bit on the component legs there. But that's the offending battery. There's a few more spider webs. But it hasn't spread anywhere. The last one of these, I had a lot of corrosion in all these connector strips and all sorts of things. These ones look quite clean, so that's a good thing. Okay, getting a super zoom in there, you can see some green corrosion on some of the pins. And the battery looks like it's been glued in. Yeah, so there's a little corrosion around there, but it's really not too bad. So hopefully it hasn't done any major damage. Should clean up okay. I'll put that board back in now. And we'll put the cover back on it. I don't need to really find out any more about it, and hopefully Bob or anyone else has seen what he needs to see. So we'll let you know on the progress of that one. Just before we put the cover back on, I should probably film the back of it. It looks like it's a AT computer. I think I said XT. I'm not sure what the difference is, if indeed there is even an XT. But this is a Turbo AT Ultra from Imagineering. Not sure how you pronounce that. I think it's a play on engineering with Imagine, perhaps. So there you go. It looks in pretty good condition. As I said, there's no real issues anywhere else other than around the battery, and of course there's no hard drive in it. So what's it worth? I'm not sure. I'll have to chat to Bob. I might be able to get about 150 for it plus postage. Probably that's what I'd put on it in the shop. I did just quickly check eBay for the old AT desktop computers. I couldn't find this brand, of course, and I know a lot of them do get badly corroded. So, and a lot were bringing around that sort of money or close. I think I'll put it in the shop for that if no one wants it from this video. All right, that's sorted that out. Let's get that blue tub emptied and have a look at that older piece of electronics. Okay, now what do we have here? It says tuning unit MF and HF, medium frequency, high frequency, maybe. There's a power light. I think that's a light. All the knobs and everything seem to be here. It doesn't appear to be damaged. I'll get it out of the tub. It's a real neat fit in the tub. And these swivel handles aren't swiveling. Oh, there we go. There's no cases on it. No external cases. It's like a rack mount unit. So I guess it's a transceiver. It needs a separate power box. I'm not sure. Aircraft had weird power supplies. I think they were, I don't know, 20 something volts, 40 volts. I'm not sure now. Looks like all the valves. I know there's one valve missing there. There's some issues with the wiring. Oh, that's an aerial wire. Looks like the insulation's burnt off these top wires. Or just decayed. Yeah, that's a cap for the other valve. The insulation's all gone off these top wires. I wonder if it's been in a fire. It doesn't really look like it's got major issues. No, it hasn't been in a fire. There wouldn't be any tags on it if that was the case. Let's get the camera a bit closer and give you guys a better look. Okay, I can't see any identifying model numbers on it. There probably is. There's so much information on here. Here we go. Receiver type. AR8. Now, I did have something similar. Maybe I had the transceiver, and like the transmitter, and this is the receiver. A while back, I ended up selling it through Facebook. A guy in Melbourne came up to buy it off me. It was in worse condition than this one. So maybe this is simply the receiver. And I know there apparently was a power supply module that goes with it. And that plugs in there. It looks like there's some sort of junction box. We have a volume control. At least these controls turn. And the switches work. The last one I had been in the weather for so long that everything was frozen solid. These all appear to work. And the big tuning. Oh yeah, that turns. Does it turn the tuning gang inside? It kind of does. It's slipping. It does move. What about this side? Yeah, that moves. Okay, so look, anything's restorable. I guess this is better than being frozen solid. Most of the valves are in there. There are certainly issues with the wiring. All the insulation on the wiring's decayed. And if you're going to ever get one of these things going, all these old paper wax capacitors have to be replaced. The switches are going to have corroded contacts. AWA, I believe these were made in Sydney by AWA. I remember that from my research on the last one. Most of the valves seem to be there. I think that's a capacitor and a metal can. I think they need to be replaced as well. It's a lot of work to get these sort of things going because the electronics just don't last. And capacitors break down. Oh, there's a lot in here. I do like the mechanics on these old things where they had little sprockets and chain drives to turn things. They're not only electronically complicated, they're very complicated mechanically wise. There's a little tag there. We might turn that over and see if we can read that a bit better later. That's a capacitor and it's all oily. I believe they have some sort of oil in them and they leak, as you can see from that one. But it appears to be complete. No one's pinched parts off it other than maybe one valve. Alright, there's a tag on this side too. What does this tag say? Looks like a whole list of patent numbers in it, isn't it? Looks like it's upside down. Let's flip it over. Okay, what can we read there? This equipment is patented, yep, Australia and New Zealand, and a whole heap of patent numbers that look like they end in mostly the 30s. So it certainly would be World War II. It most likely was aircraft, although I think they probably almost would have used the same in other military equipment, perhaps Navy, as a transceiver, well, a receiver, as part of a set. So you'd have a transmitter, receiver, and power supply, and whatever else we saw there. There was a plug for something, wasn't there? So there we go. It's complete, mostly, and a nice original electronics relic from the past. There was another tag we were going to have a look at. Where was that? There it is down there, and it's a little metal plate with an identifying number on it. IF and AF unit, type and serial. Okay, I'm going to value this item at $50. I'm going to list it for sale on maybe some of the specialist Facebook groups at $50. That way it won't cost me any fees. I have a feeling the last one I did try on eBay, and I don't remember if the guy actually bought it through eBay or ended up buying it through Facebook. But really cool 1940s piece of war memorabilia. Suit people that collect military stuff, I guess. Certainly suits people that collect vintage electronics. And I'm going to say I reckon we can get $50 for that, and I'll probably market it on Facebook, and I will put it in the shop as well. I'm not going to do anything really to it other than maybe blow it off with a air compressor. But I'm not going to go to the trouble of starting to clean up things, because that's how long's a piece of string, where do you stop? And I'm not going to restore it. So, but it's a cool piece. I don't remember where I got it from. Probably came out of an old shed somewhere. These things ended up being stored for God knows what reasons. Maybe some people got them going again. Hopefully there's still people around that want to get them going. So there you go. Pretty cool piece. And now, as the rain tumbles down on the roof this evening, it's time to finish up this video. We have a vintage computer, late 1980s, and a even more vintage radio receiver from World War II, made I think in the late 1930s by AWA in Sydney. Pretty cool items. Neither have been tested. I don't want to power either of them up, because I'm sure we'll have smoke. And moving into the notepad, I'm hoping I can get around the 150 for the AT PC, but that's to be negotiated if Bob's interested. He's been a good buyer over the time he's been watching my channel. And the other one, I said 50. I think I'm going to go 75. I did look up the price on the what was it, an AT5, I think, was the transmitter, this being the receiver. And I actually got $60 for that on eBay. It was only one bid, but that was in atrocious condition. It had been left outside for many years. Everything was frozen solid. Things were quite rusty. This one is in much better condition, even though it still needs a complete overhaul and would take a lot to get going. And I'm guessing the receivers may be a little bit more desirable than the transmitter, although I suppose people want to get the whole set together. But it's quite possible just to use this receiver as a receiver. I'm not sure what you'd pick up. It depends on what frequencies you get it sorted out with. So we're going to try 75. I will put it on some specialist Facebook groups, but I'll also put it in the shop with a tag on it, and we'll see how I go. So if we can do that, we're going to add about $225 to our total. And that total is now climbing to about $17,300 approximately. So it's climbing up consistently every week. We seem to be pulling out some stuff of reasonable value all the time. And I was going to go through the few previous weeks. You saw from the notepad just before that we had sold the IBM PC. And yeah, there's not actually a lot to report from previous weeks. A couple of things have sold, but then again, the shop hasn't been open a great deal. Well, we've had a couple of days closed, plus it's been very hot and then very wet. So I'll check back through previous weeks in the next episode, but not this series isn't about discounting stuff to sell it like the e-waste series is, but it's also interesting to see what we actually sell. So I'll flick back next week and just see how things are going. Thanks for watching another episode, guys. I hope you're enjoying the channel, and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.